What is up, ladies and mental gen? Welcome back to Tier List Thursdays. Woo! This week, coming at you with a Minecraft mobs tier list. I'm currently in the middle of my, once, twice a year, Minecraft phase. Been playing the shit out of Minecraft, so I figured I got some thoughts, I got some opinions. A lot of these are gonna be real recent, real fresh on the brain. So without further ado, let's get into it. First up, we got the bat. Bat's whatever. I'll put it in C tier. The bat doesn't do anything, like, functionally. Like, they just exist to exist. They just, I don't know. Atmosphere, I'm trying to find the words for it. They exist to fill in the world. And that's alright. That's fine, I like that the game has mobs that don't really serve a function other than to just exist. But, too many of those and then mobs start to get boring. But bats, they're alright. They're cute. I'll put them in C tier. Up next, we got bees. I'll put bees themselves in B tier. I don't believe bees drop anything. I wouldn't know. I don't really fuck with them. They're strong as fuck for some reason. They're pretty fucking cute, even if like their models are horrifically large in scale with the player. But it's a cute little design. I'm sure all of like 3 people understand how the fuck beehives actually work. I'm not one of them. I don't fuck around with it. The extent to my knowledge is don't fuck with a beehive or they'll kill you, and you need honeycombs to make candles for some reason. But, one of the newer mobs, I don't have a lot to say about them. They're cute, I guess. Up next we got blazes. I'm gonna go ahead and put blazes in B tier as well. I'll put them right above the B. Blazes, I mean, you gotta kill them to beat the game. Blaze rod's pretty fucking important. And they can be pretty challenging and annoying to fight if you don't know the gamer secrets. If you drink their only attack, well, they have 2 attacks. They have one where they shoot the fire at you, very annoying, very difficult. And then they can just like run into you and like deal like physical damage. However, if you drink a potion of fire resistance, their fire attacks do 0 damage to you, and they become piss easy to kill. Now, granted, you kind of need to kill them in order to brew potions in the first place. But if you're lucky, if you can just kill one, go to the Nether, find your fortress, kill one, get the fuck out quickly, make potions. Yeah, man, they don't really pose much of a challenge. Also, the concept of them, it's our first hostile mob. The concept of the blazes, I think that they're pretty cool. They're floating fucking beans of like hellfire, which is pretty sick. And they've been in the game for as long as the Nether. It's got to a point where, they're just iconic. I associate them with Minecraft almost as much as any other mob or creature. But, they can be, like most things in the Nether, they can be annoying to deal with, and you can make them basically, piss easy, no thoughts required with a potion of fire resistance. Up next, we got cats. They're going in S tier. I don't have anything to say. It's a cat. I really hope I don't need to justify that to you. Up next, we got cave spiders. I fucking hate cave spiders. They're the fucking worst. They're only 1 by 1 block large. If they hit you, they poison you, which fucking sucks, because I never bring fucking buckets of milk with me. Why the fuck would I do that? And it's not like they're hard to kill. Like, they have just enough health where they're a nuisance. They're not hard to kill. They're sometimes a little hard to hit if they don't want to fucking cooperate. But they're not you know, they're just, I don't know. I don't really care for spiders, cave spiders. I put them in C tier, and I don't believe they drop anything. I don't know if their loot table's any different than a regular spider, so, you know, they're just a least efficient way to get, you know, string and spider eyes. So, for that, they go in C tier. No, fuck that. They go in D tier. I hate them. I hate you, you little bitch. Up next, we got chickens. Unfortunately, I think chickens... I think I'm going to put them in D tier with cave spiders. Now, my reasoning for that. Chickens mostly drop... They have 3 main drops, or I think only 3 drops. They can drop eggs, just passively, which just spawn more chickens and are only used for cakes. And when was the last time you made a cake in Minecraft, to be honest? Feathers and... obviously raw chicken. Feathers are used for like books and quills. When was the last time you made that? When was the last time you made a book and quill? Be honest. And they were also used to make arrows, but fucking arrows are ungodly expensive to make for no reason. Like, unless they've changed it, I believe it's still, you know, 1 arrow, 1 stick, 1 flint gets you 1 arrow. Fuck that. I would rather just, you know, raid a bastion or a nether or trade with piglins to get all my arrows. Or, you know, go to a Fletcher in a fucking village and get a shit ton. You know, trade a bunch of sticks for emeralds, get a bunch of arrows. If you're making your arrows by killing chickens, you've got way too much fucking time on your hands. And lastly, with the raw chicken, or with even cooked chicken, out of all, like, the 4 main meats, cooked chickens are the worst. It restores the least amount of hunger points, and it has the lowest saturation. It's just objectively worse than pork chop, steak, and mutton. There's no reason you should be eating this besides those 3. The only thing chickens have got going for them is that, you know, I think they die in 1 hit to an iron sword, so they're real easy to kill, but man, if that's your reasoning for using raw chicken, or just using chicken instead of steak, buddy, I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, no, chickens go in D tier, they suck. Up next, cod. I don't know why all the different fish are on. All the fish are just going in C tier. I'm just gonna get that out of the way. They're fish. They drop themselves. They're used to tame cats, which, you know, it gives them a few points. There was more on here. Where the fuck did they go? Oh, you know what? I'll get the pufferfish when I get a pufferfish. But yeah. Up next we got cows. Cows are an easy A tier. They drop steak. That's the big one. Steak is one of the best foods. Not the best. I mean, it's definitely outclassed by, like, golden carrots and whatnot. But steak's good. Steak's one of the best foods. I mean, they give you milk. So if you're making, which, I mean, is useful. You know, it ends any, like, I think, effect, negative and positive, on you. And when you need it, you know, you're going to be very glad you have it, but, like, only time you're ever really going to need a bucket of milk is if you're fighting a witch, which, granted, would be incredibly fucking useful. You're fighting cave spiders, which, you know, you know, if you're quick enough, especially on bedrock, you just fucking spam click, that spider probably shouldn't be hitting you. Or if you're fighting bees, but it's like, why are you fighting bees? Well, are you stupid? And also they're cows. Cows are cool. Shout out to them. Shout out to cows. One of the iconic Minecraft mobs. They've been in the game for as long as anyone cares to remember. I mean, if you're watching this video, cows have been in Minecraft since you started playing it. Don't lie to me, you have not been playing that long. But yeah, cows, shout out to them. Shout out to Steak. Now, Creeper. Oh, man. They're S tier. Creepers are S tier. They're the fucking face of Minecraft. You think of Minecraft, you immediately see a creeper in your head. I mean, it's in the goddamn logo. The most iconic anything from the entire game. People who have never played a video game in their life know what a creeper is. Now, granted, they fucking suck to deal with. You know, I mean, they're tough. Don't fuck around with them. They'll, you know, that explosion does not play around. I've had a few times where I kind of, I forgot to fear the creeper, and every time I'm reminded just how fucking powerful that explosion is, especially point blank. I mean, the explosions they leave, they're terrifying. I guess that's the big thing. Creepers, honest to God, add like an element of horror to this game. Every time you see a creeper, you freak the fuck out. You're scared, and that's amazing. The fact that a hostile mob can do that to you in a survival game, it's doing its job. Amazing. Up next, we got dolphins. I think they're also gonna go in C tier. They don't really do anything. I don't know if dolphins drop anything. I've never bothered to kill one, actually. But, I mean, they give you Dolphin's Grace, which, you know, if you're swimming, it's useful. They don't really do anything. It's not, you know, they're whatever. They add something to, like, the oceans in this game. Which, you know, back when I started playing, it was squids and nothing. So, it's nice to see the oceans actually populated with something. And, you know, same thing with the bats. If you exist purely just to, you know, populate the world, that's okay. But yeah, up next we got donkeys. Donkeys going to S tier. Now you might be thinking to yourself, what the fuck? Why are donkeys in S tier? Are you stupid? And the answer is yes, and I love donkeys. Donkeys are, honest to God, one of my favorite animals on the planet. I love them. In game, donkeys don't really do a ton. They're pack mules. They're most effective when you're using them as literal pack mules. With horses, you know, with the saddle and chest. With horses, it's up to chance how many slots you're gonna have on that in your chest and their little horse inventory. But donkeys always have a maxed out inventory. So, you know, that's what they're for. They're pack mules. However, they don't even do that best because llamas. We'll get to. You know what? Let's go ahead and do llamas. Llamas, I'll put them in A tier. Because llamas are just. Oh, I guess I should put. Whatever. They are technically just better versions of donkeys. However, they're not donkeys, so they don't get to go in S tier. Because you can do the same thing with them. You can give them, you know, saddles and chests. And if you have a bunch of them, if you put one on a lead and start walking away, all of them will follow in a line, like a little alpaca train. Which I bet you didn't fucking know. I didn't know that until, like, a week ago. So if you need to move a bunch of shit on a bunch of, like, saddles and chests, alpacas are the way to go. Donkeys can do them, but alpacas are objectively better. However, I love donkeys. They go in S tier the same reason cats go in S tier. You kidding me? No, I'm not gonna put a donkey above a creeper. I'm not that crazy. I'm gonna put creeper at the top of S tier. It's a fucking creeper. Drowned. B tier. Kind of same thing as dolphins. They add something to the oceans. They're not really threatening. Not too threatening, at least. They have a chance to drop the trident, which is nice. They're just a zombie underwater. It's that simple. You know, they add something to the ocean monuments. Not monuments. What the hell am I talking about? I'm thinking about the next mob. They add something to, you know, just the waters and rivers, and you know what? Makes them less boring. Makes them actually, you know, potential threat. So yeah. Up next, we got an Elder Guardian. I think I have actually fought an Elder Guardian once in my entire Minecraft life. I think I haven't fought one of these assholes since high school. Because I don't know the last time I messed with an ocean monument. What are even in ocean monuments? What do they give you that is necessary? I mean, I know they got gold. What's there? Can you even Are there chests in those places? I don't know. I don't fuck with ocean monuments. And mining fatigue fucking sucks. They go in D tier. I don't like these guys. They're like the lamest boss fight too, because there's nothing like interesting about them. You just swing at them until they die. They don't really do anything. Speaking of boss fights, so up next we got the Ender Dragon. Ender Dragon, I think it goes in A tier. I'm gonna put it A tier right above the cow. First boss of the game. You gotta beat it to. There's no winning Minecraft, but you gotta you gotta beat the dragon, and that's technically beating the game. First of all, it goes in S tier. I'm already convincing myself. First of all, it's a dragon. Fuck yeah, that's sick. It's black. That's sick. Black and purple, actually. The boss fight's fun. I mean, if you're playing Java, you can one-cycle it pretty easily. You can also do it in Bedrock, but it's a little bit more convoluted and weird, like everything in Bedrock. But I think the Ender Dragon's a great boss fight for the game. It's at that perfect balance where if you know what you're doing, it's not impossible, but it's still challenging. And if you're a newer player, if you beat your Ender Dragon, you're gonna feel like hot shit because you are. Shout out to you if you've beaten the Ender Dragon. Up next we got Endermen. I like Endermen. I think they also go in S tier for me. I love Ender Dragons. Ender Dragons. What the hell am I talking about? I love Endermen. Endermen are probably my personal favorite. Not probably. They are just my personal favorite hostile mob. I think they're sick. I mean, same thing with the Ender Dragon. Their color scheme is like black with purple highlights. If you know me, you know how much I fuck with that. I love that, they're practically passive unless you attack them or look them in the eyes. I think that's a fun little detail about them. I mean, they're just based off the Slender Man. I think, if I'm not mistaken, trying to, go fall back on memories, 15 years old at this point, good lord. I think the Enderman, I don't remember what its name originally was, but I think it got called that. I think it just got added. People were like, what the fuck, this is just the Slender Man. And then Notch was like, I like that name, say that again. And then called it the Enderman. But yeah, the Endermen are sick, but Endermen are awesome. Scary as fuck. Like, unless you're like if you just try to fight an Enderman as intended, those things are fucking terrifying with like full iron. They don't fuck around, and so a hostile mob you gotta put some respect on, perfect, they're doing their job. Also, you need ender pearls to beat the game, so shout out to them. Endermites, I don't know, bro. The only functionality that I know these assholes serve is for an Enderman farm. I couldn't tell you a single thing about Endermites other than that they're impossible to spawn because it'll take you like 100 Ender Pearls before they show up. I didn't even know these things existed until like a few years ago when I first found out about like Enderman farms. F tier? No. D tier. Well, I mean, do they even drop anything? I don't know. It feels like their only purpose is for Enderman farms. Whatever. Evokers. I think Evokers are an A tier. Definitely a scary, a scary hostile mob. So they're doing their job right. Their main thing is that they drop Totems of Undying, and maybe a controversial item. If you have opinions on that, it's probably a strong one. But I mean, they drop them, and for that, it's A tier. I mean, that's one of those items. Even if you hate them, you think they're stupid, they ruin the point of the game. They're pretty fucking good. It's nice to have them. So yeah, and I like the concept of like villager but evil. Villagers have been in the game for over a decade and a half. So adding like evil versions of them. I think that's silly. I think that's cute. I like it. Up next, we got foxes. I don't know what foxes do. I know they do something for you, but I don't know what that is. I'm just gonna put them in B tier because they're cute. I really don't have anything else to say. They're cute. I like them. Guardians, they're going right down there in D tier with the Elder Guardian. You know, yeah, no, there's no point putting them anywhere else. Horses. Man, let me tell you something. I forgot how fucking useful horses are until you get your Elytra. You find a horse with max speed, dude, you fucking zoom. You be fucking zooming. I'm gonna put them in A tier. The only reason they're not going in S is just because you need to find a saddle. And depending on your luck, that could be difficult. It could be very easy. You could just find it in a village. There are a bunch of loot tables it shows up in. The fact that you can't make them just makes horses a slightly limited resource. But dude, I love my horse. On my Minecraft realm right now, I got a white horse named Conquest. Shout out to him. Shout out to Conquest. I could not imagine trying to move through that fucking world without him. But yeah, horses, they're great. I don't even remember what these assholes are called. The desert zombies. I'm put them in B tier right above the drowns because I think they're not the wither. Never mind. I don't remember their name. I forget these guys exist sometimes. Like, I forget that these guys aren't from a mod and that they're actually in the base game. I think they do a little bit more than regular zombies. I think they don't they hit you and add an effect? I probably should have done some goddamn research before I started this tier list. I don't know. Yeah, whatever. I think they're just zombies, and as far as I'm concerned right now, they're just desert zombies. So whatever. I like that, you know, zombies have regional variants. That's cool. The Iron Golem. I think Iron Golem goes. I'm gonna put him in A tier. I love him. Shout out to him. I love the concept. They're very expensive to make, and they're kind of not worth it. However, you know, if you're speed running, that's your they give you your iron. Speaking of killing an Iron Golem, if you kill one, they you know, I'm sure everyone knows this at this point, but if you kill them, they drop a poppy, which is adorable and heartbreaking. And I think you can give them flowers, like you can hand it to them, and they'll hold it, and it's the cutest fucking thing in the world. And I think they'll walk up to the villagers and offer it to them. They're amazing. They're incredible. Shout out to Iron Golems, man. If you're bad at the game, if you're new, they're so useful. They're amazing to have. You know, if you're not just gonna sleep through the night, they make it a million times easier to survive it. But you know, you usually should just be sleeping through the night if you're worried about survival. And if you're not, you know, there's only really one or two mobs that spawn in the night that are worth, you know, worrying about. So that's the Iron Golem. Up next we got the Magma Cube. Now the Magma Cube, I'm gonna put him in B tier. Bottom of B tier, B minus C plus range. Magma Cubes suck to fight. I hate fighting these guys. They're so annoying. Their largest form has way too much health. They don't deal a ton of damage. They're just kind of pestering. And, you know, every time, you kill them and you knock it down a level, I guess. Basically, what I'm trying to get to is when you knock them down to where it's they're 4 mini versions, unlike slimes, those mini magma cubes can still hurt you. And, what happens is, you knock them down to their smallest version, and they just all fucking, you know, hit you instantly. They're annoying to fight. I hate seeing them every time I see one. However, they drop magma cream, which you need for fire res potions. And if you're going to be doing anything in the nether, you need fire res potions. So for that, you know, they're they're a necessity, you know. I hate fighting them. However, they drop a resource that is so valuable and important that, you know, it balances out, and they go in B tier. Mushrooms go in S tier. You kidding me? You kidding me? That's an S tier right there. Look at that motherfucker. I think it's just another iconic Minecraft thing. Like, it's just a cow with mushrooms. Where else you seen? Where else are you seeing this from except Minecraft? They don't really do anything. I mean, they only spawn on mushroom biomes, which are rare. But you know, it's just such a Minecraft thing. I love them. They're great. Shout out to the mushroom. God, I don't remember what these things are called. I don't remember their name, but it's like the crossbreed between like a donkey and a horse, and it's like all the benefits of both. I don't know. I'll put them up there with donkeys. I mean, they look more like a donkey than a horse anyway. But yeah, ocelots. I forgot ocelots were still in the game, man. I legit thought they got like removed after they added like cats to villages. Fun fact: ocelots technically hostile mobs, despite the fact that they cannot hurt you. I mean, for a while, if you wanted a cat, you just have to tame an ocelot. But now we actually have cats, so I guess I'll put ocelots in. I'm gonna put them in C tier, honestly. They scare away creepers, which is nice. That's something they do. A lot more than anything in C or D tier could say. I don't have a lot to say about them. Pandas. Panda. They're cute. They're adorable. I don't know if they drop anything. Why are you killing pandas? What are you? What's wrong with you, maniac? I'll put them right next to Iron Golem. Big bodies. Put them right next to each other. Parrots. That's C tier. They're annoying. They make too much noise. You can tame them and get pets, but like that's it. They're cute. Oh, they dance. Oh, they dance and you play music. That bumps to the top of C tier. Yeah, they're right at like the same kind of half tier with magma cubes. But yeah, I like that they come in a bunch of different colors. Phantoms, fuck you. Pigs going A tier. I'll put them right next to cows. Oh yeah, cows also drop leather. That's another thing. I don't know what you need leather for, other than like make books if you're not gonna raid a village. But you know, they drop leather, so I guess there's that. But pigs, pork chops, are like just below steaks. I think they restore the exact amount of food points, but they have a slightly lower saturation, so they're technically a slight downgrade. They're just completely outclassed by steak. But I don't know, in my opinion, I feel like pigs spawn a lot more than cows do. So I always end up, in my like Minecraft worlds, I always end up having like pork chops as my main food. I also like pork chops because my mom used to make them a lot when I was a kid, and that was one of the few foods she could get the whole family to agree on. So that makes me think of being a kid. So yeah, they're going above cows just because I said that. And also they're pigs. They're cute as shit. Pillagers. I would put them right below blazes. Kind of same thing I said with evokers. You know, evil villagers. I think that's a cool, neat idea. They're not all that challenging. Like, you don't see them. Like, they have crossbows, but I would rather see a pillager over a skeleton any fucking day of the week. I don't know if pillagers in particular drop anything. I don't fight a ton of pillagers, so I wouldn't know. Anyways, pufferfish, they would go in C tier, but they are used to brew potions of water breathing, so they go in B tier because of that. I don't know when you're gonna need a potion of water breathing all that much, unless you're, you know, doing some underwater diamond mining. But hey, if you need that potion effect, it's a really useful potion. So shout out to him. Polar bears, that's an S tier. I love bears. I really don't have anything else to add. Bunnies are cute. They're kind of the same thing as foxes. I know foxes do something, man. They do something. Bunnies don't. Bunnies just exist to exist and be cute. And shout out to them. They do a damn good job. Bunnies are cute, and you can tame them and keep them as pets. B tier. This fucking thing. I don't know this thing's name. They only show up during raids. It's ugly. I don't like looking at it. I don't want to talk about it any longer, actually. D tier. This thing makes me uncomfortable to look at. Sheeps. I'm gonna put sheeps. I kind of want to put them. I think I'm gonna put like the 3 core, you know, domesticated animals. I'm gonna put them right next to each other, honestly, because mutton, while not as good as, well, just completely outclassed by pork chops, which are in turn outclassed by steak. Muttons are still better than raw chicken, so they got that going for them. The main reason why I have sheep this high, other than, you know, iconography being, you know, one of the original mobs, which wasn't enough to save the chicken, actually, is the fact that they drop wool. Oh, the music stopped. Let me go ahead and, there we go. They drop wool, which, you know, useful for beds and, like, for carpets and, like, decoration, all that stuff. But where beds really come in handy, if you're playing Java, you use beds to 1 cycle the Ender Dragon. And in both versions, beds are the much easier and much more cost-effective way to like strip mine farm for netherite, ancient debris in the nether. And, you know, one of those things, you know, not going to be that terribly useful early game, besides giving you food. And then in late game, they're incredibly useful, you know, because you need a lot of wool for a lot of beds to get enough ancient debris. But hell yeah. Shout out to Crit, he found a fucking pink sheep in our Minecraft realm. Shulkers. I mean, you use them to make shulker boxes, which by the time you get them, you effectively have an infinite inventory. You know, you're always going to have everything you need on you, even if it's just like a few extra clicks away. I think their design itself is, I think it's interesting. I like to think that the fact it's just like a little box. It's just a little tiny guy inside of a box. You know, their projectiles can be a little annoying to deal with. But I mean, you need them. They technically place an effect on you, which you need for how did we get here. I don't know. I don't really have a lot to say about shulkers. B tier. Silverfish, fuck you. Skeleton horses? Are you shitting me? That's S tier. These things are so fucking cool. A skeleton horse? Fuck yeah. Skeletons, though, they can kiss my fucking ass. Oh my god, skeletons are the fucking worst. Why do they have permanent aimbot? Why can they shoot so quickly? Fighting these fuckers, I would rather chop my dick off than fight a skeleton without a shield. I fucking hate skeletons. The fact that they are skeletons cannot save them from the fact that they are the just most annoying bullshit mob to deal with that isn't a phantom. And phantoms aren't hard to deal with, they're just annoying. They punish you for not skipping the night, which I think should be the opposite. I like the idea of phantom showing up if you sleep through too many nights, because then, you know, because the night used to be terrifying. Back in the day, you know, when everybody was making, you know, their Minecraft Let's Plays, you know, episode 1 was always surviving my first night, because that shit meant something, brother. That shit meant something. The night was terrifying. But now it's not. Now you just make a bed and you sleep through it instantly, and you never have to deal with the mobs. So it's just like they're punishing you. Mobs show up, phantoms show up to punish you for, you know, not playing baby easy mode. Whatever. I hate skeletons. Grrr. Slimes. Slimes are cute. I like the little noises they make when they hop around. Slime balls, I don't think they're used for anything besides making slime blocks and leads, but you know, leads are definitely useful. They're nice to have when you really need them. No, I'm not gonna put them in A tier. They're not in A tier. I'm gonna put them up in B tier though, right between. I'll put them above foxes. I mean, they're like one of the only. They spawn everywhere in super flat worlds, which I think. I see slimes. I think of super flats. And when I think of super flats, I think of just being a kid, fucking around in creative mode, or, you know, testing out mods. They go in B tier. Snow golems. They're snowmen. They're pretty cool. I'll put them in B tier. C tier, man. I don't remember the last time I actually made a fucking snow golem in game. I mean, they can give you a lot of snow. What do you need a bunch of snowballs for? I mean, you can use snowballs to fight blazes. But, like, I don't know, man. Once you get that first blaze rod and start brewing potions, you don't really need all that much to fight them. Up next, we got spiders. Definitely better than cave spiders. Cave spiders, I see, you know what, man, spiders are just a middling mob. There's spiders, which I honestly should put them down in F tier. Both of them. Fuck spiders. But, like, I see a spider in Minecraft, and I feel nothing. Because they're not scary. I don't know the last time I died to a spider. Genuinely. The spiders are not a threat in this game. They don't do a ton of damage. They're not very fast. They don't despawn in the daytime, which is something. But, like, dude, it almost feels like they're passive mobs during the daytime. Like, if you see a spider at night, you know that fucker's coming down to kill you. But, like, I see spiders, like, in the daytime, and it's like, I don't know, man, as long as I'm not, you know, in taint rubbing distance of him. I don't know why I phrased it like that. They're not gonna fight you. So, it's whatever. They drop string. That's useful. Fermented eider spies. Eider spies, yup. Alright, cool. C tier. Squids. For a while they were the only mobs in the ocean. You used to be able to milk squids, which is disgusting. They only serve to drop ink sacs, which give you black dye, and because of that, they go into B tier for purely for the fact that you need them for black dye. Sky does Minecraft reference. Too bad he's a horrific human being. I don't remember what these guys are called, but they're skeletons, but somehow more terrifying. They go in D tier. They're better than. They look cooler, and they're more threatening than skeletons. And so, purely from a mob standpoint, like a hostile mob, that does make them better. However, at the end of the day, they are still skeletons, and I fucking hate them. Finding Nemo, rest of fish. Turtles, C tier. I mean, well, I'm gonna put them below bats. Well, turtles. I mean, it's overly convoluted to breed them. It's too much of an ordeal. And what do they give you? You can make the fucking turtle shell helmet, which gives you, like, basically has, like, built-in respiration 1 or 2 into it, which is, I think they're better than diamond helmets. I don't think they're better than netherite, though. There's no way in hell they're better than netherite, and you can use those to make potions of the Turtle Master. When the fuck are you ever using potions of Turtle Master? They're cute, though. D tier. These fuckers, I don't remember what they're called. Evokers spawn them. C tier. I don't have anything to say about them. They look cool. It's a sick little design. Villagers. Oh, Jesus. Villagers. I'll put villagers in A tier. I'll put them right above. You know what? S tier. No, villagers are S tier, actually. Because if you know what you're doing, villagers are so valuable. I mean, librarians are like the only ways to get mending, or at least reliably. Villager trading is something that, if you know how to, is incredibly easy to, like, exploit and abuse and make it to where you can get whatever you want out of them. And, you know, for a while, emeralds were kind of hard to find, but you just get a Fletcher and you give them, like, you just make a bunch of sticks. And, brother, you're never going to have a hard time finding sticks. I just, you know, they, incredibly useful, incredibly valuable. Villager trading is one of, like, just the best ways to get good loot and shit, in the game. So they go in S tier for that, honestly. I don't remember what these guys... Vindicators! These guys are terrifying. Holy shit, these guys do so much goddamn damage. And they use an axe, so they can... You can't just, you know, like all the rest of the mobs, you can't just put up a shield and, you know, turn your brain off. These guys will knock your shield out of your hands. Or not knock it out of your hand, but they'll stun you, and you have to actually fight them. Terrifying. Fun fact, if you use a name tag on a Vindicator and you name him Johnny, he will wildly attack every single mob in sight. Cool little Stephen King reference. But yeah, no, these guys are terrifying. I'm gonna put them right below Evoker just because they don't drop totems of Undying. But, you know, they're effective. They do their job. They make woodland mansions actually scary to raid and loot. Wandering traders, normally, wandering traders are borderline useless. Like, they don't really give you anything you need or want. If you're doing a skyblock, they're the lifeblood of skyblock worlds. But we're not talking about skyblock. We're talking about Minecraft, baby. These guys, I think if you're quick enough, they drop a potion of invisibility, which is neat. You can get leads from them if you kill his llamas. I don't know, seeds here. Whatever. Witches are terrifying. They drop like stuff for they drop certain ingredients for potion brewing. These bitches scare the shit out of me. They're one of like the mobs, like with creepers. I see a witch and I get scared. I either run away or I do everything in my power to kill that bitch instantly. And the fact that they evoke that reaction out of me just tells me they're a really good hostile mob. Even if they're annoying to deal with. But like they're not that threatening, because as long as there's not a bunch of other mobs, if you get poisoned, kill her, and then you just dig yourself inside a hole until it goes away and eat your food. Anyways, I'll put them in B tier. Yeah. Wither skeletons are horrifying in the same way Vindicators and like creepers are. Every time I go to the Nether, when I see a Wither skeleton, I just turn around, because it's not worth to fight them. They go in S tier. I mean, you need them to fight the Wither, which is completely optional, and I mean, their skulls are like super rare. They only, unless you have looting, it's like a 1 in like 1,600 chance or some crazy shit like that. But I mean, they're big black skeletons. If you know me, that's gonna win you some points in my book. And also, they use swords, also winning you points. But yeah, man, they're one of those mobs that I just see and I'm just like, nope, not fucking with that, not dealing with it. They're not that scary. I mean, the main thing about them is when they inflict Wither on you, which is horrifying. If you're really careful, they're not too scary. But man, I've been playing Bedrock because, you know, so I can play with my friends. I swear to God, man, Bedrock, it feels like there's never just one of these fuckers. There's been times where I've seen like 5 of these grouped up in one Nether fortress, and that'll put the fear of God in you, brother. Jesus Christ. The Wither. I've never fought the Wither. I actually don't have a ton to say about him. I have never fought the Wither. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you got to revoke my gamer card for that one. I mean, it looks sick. Sick design. In Bedrock, that's a harder fight than the Ender Dragon. In Java, he's kind of a punk. He's kind of easy to kill, from what I've heard. He drops like the Nether Star or something like that. I don't even know what you use that for. I think, oh, it's for beacons. It's for beacons. And beacons are fucking useless. So he doesn't really do anything. He's just a fun, challenging fight, and he looks sick as fuck. He's not going above horses. Right above evokers. Wolves, dogs, right up there with cats. Enough said. Zombie piglin. I love zombie piglin. I think they're really cool. They were one of the first, one of the only mobs in the Nether at first. I think it's a sick design. They don't really do anything. They have a chance to drop gold, which is useful in the Nether. But if you're fighting one zombie piglin, you turn all of them hostile, and that's terrifying. There's always a gorillion of them. I don't really have a ton to say. I mean, they're old enough that they're nostalgic. They're cool. I mean, I don't really have anything to say. I like that when they were first introduced, it was just them. And, you know, it's like, well, what the fuck is a piglin? You know, those didn't get added until years later. Damn near a decade. But, you know, the fact that it's just them and they're zombified in hell, I think they really added to the atmosphere of, like, the early Nether, of it being a horrible shitscape that you do not want to be in, because it's literally hell. But yeah, I think they're A tier. Not bottom of A tier, though. We'll put them right up there with Iron Golems. I'm just gonna put all the zombies together. I mean, there's really no point. Zombie villager. You can purify them and get a villager. That's it. I don't know. They're just zombies. No, they go above that for that, actually. And then, yeah, that's technically how you should be ranking the zombies, objectively. I mean, they're zombies. They're one of the first hostile mobs. They are never frightening. There will never be a point in time where a zombie is threatening. They're punks, they're pushovers, but they're iconic. I mean, they're dressed like Minecraft Steve, so they got that shit on. Not a lot to say. They're zombies. You know what a zombie is in Minecraft. Ghasts. Fuck these guys. Fuck these guys. Ghasts are horrifying. Ghasts are truly what make exploring the Nether suck. They make my heart rate rise, but not in like a way a creeper does, where it's like, oh, you gotta respect the creeper, you know, put some respect on the creeper. The ghasts fly. They just show up, they shoot at you, they just disrupt whatever you're trying to do. It's not that they demand your respect, they demand your attention and your full focus, and if you ever try to ignore them, you will die and they will kill you, and it sucks. And honest to God, they're what makes exploring the Nether without Elytra one of the worst experiences in the entire game. They're effective, you know, they do their job right, too well, actually. They don't really drop anything good. I mean, they drop gunpowder, which whenever you get your Elytra, very useful for your fireworks. But like gas tiers, you're not making a respawn beacon. What the fuck are you talking about? Shut up. No, you're not. At least I think that's what gas tiers are for. It's that or something else. I don't know. You don't need a gas tier, is my main point. You're never gonna need that shit. Hoglins, they're alright. They're hostile even if you wear gold, but lava buckets take care of these guys real good. They drop pork chops. That's nice. I don't know. Piglins. I love piglins. Piglins are one of my favorite additions to the game. Where did I put zombie piglins? Did I put them in A tier? I think these guys, honestly, I think they go in S tier. I love the little aspect of, I love that these guys single-handedly made gold a valuable resource. Because in OG Minecraft, gold was fucking pointless. Unless you were going to use that for decoration and building, you never needed gold. The tools and armor are objectively worse than iron. I mean, you can enchant them better, but you didn't know that. They just broke and couldn't harvest diamonds. So why the fuck would you ever use them? But these guys made gold mean something, because you can trade with them, and they can drop some pretty fucking useful and valuable shit. And, you know, if you're in the Nether, if they see you, you know, they're hostile. They'll all chase you down, and holy shit, there's always a lot of them. But if you wear a piece of gold armor, they think you're one of them, or they just think that you're so dripped out. They just respect the drip so much that they would never even think about fighting you. But I love that piglins made gold valuable. I think they go right below villagers just because of how useful their trading is. I think they have a cool design. I think they're like they ride that line perfectly between being cute and like being horrifying little pigmen. I like them. I love them. They're great. They're awesome. Striders, I think that's what these guys are called. I don't know, man. He's kind of goofy looking. Put him in C tier. I don't know, man. I don't really have anything to say. Zombified Hoglin, same thing. Piglin Brutes. Exact same tier as Vindicators in the aspect that these fuckers will always be terrifying. I could have full Netherite, and I'm gonna see a Piglin Brute and be scared shitless. These guys are what make Bastions like a challenge. Like without these guys, you just wear golds and you just get to loot shit for free. But with Piglin Brutes, you know, they don't care if you wear gold. They just want to kill. They got murder on their mind. They have so much fucking health. I think it takes 13 ticks of lava damage to kill them, which is ridiculous. But, you know, speaking of lava, that's the best way to deal with these guys. You just, you know, make sure, because, you know, if you fight them, you're gonna draw aggro from all the piglins. But if you use a lava bucket to kill them, piglins don't care because you didn't kill it, the lava did. A tragedy, really. But yeah, no, Piglin Brutes, they're terrifying. And I mean, they use an axe, so just like Vindicators, you can't just put up your shield and turn your brain off. They will still fuck you up. They're never not a challenge, and because of that, they're an easy A tier mob. Axolotls, they're adorable, they're cute. S tier. Fuck you. Goats, they're goats. Exact same tier as donkeys. Goats are one of my favorite animals. They don't do anything. I mean, if you get them to ram into like a tree, they drop their horn, which is cool, which is neat. None of those horns don't really do anything. You can just loot them from pillager outposts. They're goats. They're an S tier because they're goats, and I love goats. Triple as. Frogs, I don't think I've ever actually encountered a frog in Minecraft. I forgot they existed. Well, swamps are kind of rare. I'm never going out of my way to look for a swamp. The frogs are cute. B tier. Warden. I think Warden's S tier. Because, you know, I talk about how creepers are good at their job because you see them and you're scared shitless. Same thing with Vindicators, or Piglin Brutes, or the Wither Skeletons. The Warden is, like, not even meant to be fought. You're not supposed to fight the Warden. The Warden is a force of nature. You're supposed to fight and kill the Ender Dragon. You're supposed to fight and kill the Wither. The Warden has more health than, like, both of them combined. They make you blind, he does more damage. You're not supposed to kill this asshole. He's like I said, he's a force of nature more than he's a mob, you know? And he is the same thing as like Piglin Brutes. There will never be, you could have full Netherite, you could have everything enchanted, the best enchantments in the game, best armor. This guy will mop the fucking floor with you. And I love that. I love his design. I think the aesthetic he and like Ancient City's got going on, I think it's sick. I think the Wither is a very effective, incredible boss. He's really good at disincentivizing you from just running to an Ancient City and getting all the best loot in the game. He really, like, whenever you loot an Ancient City, the fact that the Warden exists makes you feel like you've accomplished something, and that's all I could ask for. And then a lay. Fucking a bunch of children voted for this thing because they thought it would just spawn, like, duplicate diamonds for them. I honestly struggle to think of a use where, like, the lay would actually be, like, necessary. Like, when I would actually, like, be glad this guy exists. A D tier, man. I know bottom is C tier just because he's got a cute little design. But man, fucking LA. Whatever. Should have been the copper golem. Should have been the copper golem. But that's the tier list, fellas. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. If you disagree with my tier list, make your own. Get the fuck out of my comment section. But I'll see you guys next week with another tier list. Take it easy. Have a good week.